I now give the floor to the representative of Pakistan.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I thank Special Representative of the Secretary General and Head of UNMISS, Mr. Nicholas Haysom, as well as Ms. Vosornu, Director OCHA, and Ms. Nasiva for their briefings and valuable insights. The Secretary General's recent report on the situation in South Sudan and the briefings we just heard highlight the risk of reversal of the gains made under the revitalized peace agreement over the past 7 years. In the last meeting on South Sudan, held on 5th February, the discussions were focused on how to consolidate the gains and move forward towards elections. Unfortunately, in less than 2 months, the discourse has shifted. The situation has worsened. We share the concerns about possible further deterioration in the political and the security situation in South Sudan, and hence the need to de-escalate and address the underlying cause of this downward slide. I wish to make the following points for addressing the current crisis. First, the house arrest of First Vice President Riek Machar and other senior SPLM-IO officials has undermined the peace process. We support the demand of African Union and others for the immediate and unconditional release of Mr. Machar and detained opposition figures to restore trust in the political process. The revitalized peace agreement should be fully implemented without delay. Second, we urge the parties to engage in direct dialogue for the benefit of the people of South Sudan. We support inclusive dialogue between the government and the opposition. We commend the efforts made by SRSG Haysom in helping to de-escalate the situation and call on the parties to engage in good faith with him and with the regional mediation efforts, particularly by the African Union, the AU High-Level Ad Hoc Committee for South Sudan, C5, and IGAD. Third, the humanitarian crisis is being compounded by the rise in political tensions. 9.3 million people, 3/4 of the population, need assistance, and 7.7 million are suffering acute food insecurity. The 2025 Humanitarian Needs and Response Plan is only 10.5% resourced. The funding gap must be urgently met to prevent famine and disease outbreaks. The bravery and commitment of humanitarian workers operating under challenging circumstances in South Sudan deserve our full appreciation and support. Lastly, UNMISS remains a force of stability. We greatly appreciate the sacrifices and efforts of the UNMISS peacekeepers aimed at consolidating peace and development in South Sudan under challenging circumstances. On 7th March, in a rescue attempt of government forces in Upper Nile region, an UNMISS helicopter was shot at, with one crew member losing his life. Attack on peacekeepers amount to war crimes, and the perpetrators must be brought to justice. Mr. President, UNMISS has been instrumental in reducing community violence through its patrolling. In a single month, March 2025, UNMISS has conducted 8,551 patrols by land, air, and river to protect civilians, deter conflict, and ensure the safe delivery of humanitarian aid as well as logistical supplies to UNMISS bases. UNMISS engineering contingents are rehabilitating thousands of kilometers of roads and other critical infrastructure to support safe communication, travel, trade, and peace building. Peacekeeping engineers from Pakistan have built and are maintaining 80 kilometers of dikes in Bentiu, protecting 300,000 people stranded on a tiny sliver of land surrounded by 5,400 kilometers of floodwaters. Keeping in view the crucial tasks being performed by UNMISS, we encourage the South Sudanese government to cooperate fully with the mission in the performance of its mandate and meeting its operational needs. In this regard, the issue of Tomping Base must also be resolved amicably. Mr. President, UNMISS is currently operating with 3,000 troops less than its sanctioned strength. The military assessment has been clear that the mission needs those troops to perform its mandate effectively. Keeping in view the deteriorating situation on the ground, UNMISS must be adequately strengthened and reinforced to face the new realities on the ground. I thank you very much.